And Sam Kennedy, the president of the Boston Red Sox, joins us this morning. Hey, Sam.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Sam, like me, you grew up here, lived your whole life here, of a similar age. 1986 Celtics versus this team. Who Curtis brought this up. Who wins?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think this team. Team. Yeah, it's close, but I think this team, and it's a hard call, but these guys are unstoppable.
Greg on an island.
Yeah,
again.
he's on an island. It hurts me, Sam, to agree with Curtis.
It hurts Sam more, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have to agree with him.
Sam, Lucas Giolito expected to make his return next week. I thought it was really interesting, his interview with Mass Live, where he said he feels like he's been stealing money. The front office, I'm sure, doesn't feel that way, but for Lucas to feel that, what can you say about it?
Well, he has expressed that, and we understand that. But when you have an injury of his magnitude, it's part of the game, and we never in a million years would have thought that we would have ended up where we did with him, just given how much of a horse he had been throughout his career. So you can do all the due diligence you want, all the research, look at all the numbers, and injuries are just an unexpected part of the game. It's been brutal for him more than anything else, but we're excited to get him back. I think he'll go Tuesday night is the current plan, so it'll be great to see him back in action. And we just had Liam come back, same thing, and these guys do. They feel like they feel guilty. I've got a great relationship with Chris Sale. I can tell you he feels the same way, especially when you get to play in Boston, when you're not able to go out there and play in front of the best fans. It's brutal. So I'm going to be excited to get him back.
Giolito, like Scheim, apparently a huge Pokemon guy.
Really? That is something I know nothing about.
Nothing.
I can offer nothing on that topic.
Well, like most adults.
Not a Pokemon guy. Not a Pokemon
I'd be
guy.
happy to teach you, Sam.
I think he's busy.
I'll call you when I drop my other 947 hobbies.
Sounds good.
Speaking of things that were nice to hear, Garrett Crochet yesterday suggesting he would like more innings.
He's amazing. Let's keep him on a plan where he can talk about health, stay healthy throughout the whole year. But he's been incredible and bringing the leadership and the performance. And I know he said he doesn't feel like he's really found it yet, but great to be able to have him at the top of that rotation. And we need to win this series today. So let's get him out there doing what he does.
Sam, when you look at your team, it's frustrating a little bit because I think a lot of fans had higher expectations for a faster start. How do you not let, and I bet you guys probably believe the same thing, how do you not let those frustrations bleed into the clubhouse and then it affects you on the field?
It's a great question. Yeah, it's been a bit of an inconsistent start, I would say, and we have to remember we're like 15% of the way through the schedule, and I think in our last 10 games we're 7-3, so that's a good sign. And we got to get certain guys going. I mean, it's been great to see Tristan the last two nights. Feels like he's starting to find his swing. And we've had some guys out. We talked about injuries as part of it. We've got guys coming back like Connor Wong and like Lucas, and Bayo getting back in is great. So hopefully things will start to pick up from here. But we have been inconsistent, and we hope to turn that around. And it's all about winning series. That's really what we have to focus on as we get into the later or the earlier part of May.
Sam, what's the process like in figuring out the future and the arrival date of a guy like Roman Anthony? I mean, best prospect in baseball, is hitting like crazy in Worcester. Obviously, many factors go into that. Could you give us some insight as to how you guys are preparing for his arrival this season?
Well, we just keep walking by Brez's office saying, "Come on, man, what are we waiting for? Let's go."
We said the same thing to him when he was on last week.
Yes. Yeah, it's so exciting to have guys who are literally knocking on the door and trying to play their way into the big league lineup. I think the thing with him or anybody else, when you have someone who is in the sort of top of the minor league player development cycle, you want to make sure that they're fully ready, and when they come up, they're going to come up to stay. So when guys are performing who you already have at the big league level, you do have a bit of a wait and see. So there's no magic to it. There's the old baseball saying, these things usually take care of themselves. I don't like saying that, because that oftentimes results in an injury or someone underperforming. But it's been great to see, and I'm sure he'll be up sooner rather than later, but you never know, and that'll be a decision that Craig has to make, and he's got to navigate this over the weeks ahead.
In this day and age in baseball, do the economics play into it? Is there, is it smart business to wait on him so you end up with a extra time on the end of the deal?
No, look, the best business is winning games at the big league level. I can tell you that. Nothing else matters. You can think about roster construction as it relates to anything you need related to player development. But from a business perspective, winning games at the big league level is what it's all about. So to the extent anyone in our system that can help contribute to winning games at Fenway Park, that's what's best for business. We have to balance that with development and making sure that the guys are completely ready and that there's room, obviously, on the roster. So it's a good problem to have if you have guys performing and guys performing throughout the organization. But most important thing for business, Greg, is winning baseball games at Fenway Park.
Sam, you brought up Tristan Casas. How long do you give a guy who is struggling like a leash to go out there and continue to compete for his starting job when you maybe do have some other guys that are hitting the ball down at AAA?
You have to be patient, as hard as it is, and in case in point, the last two nights at Fenway. But I'll tell you, he has looked better. I think he's finding his swing. He's been hitting the ball the other way, which is always a good sign for a left-handed hitter at Fenway Park. So you have to be patient, and you'll be rewarded for it. We have really strong conviction and belief in Tristan and his makeup and what he's all about. So you do need to be patient if the belief and the conviction in the player is there, and it certainly is with Tristan Casas.
All right, Sam Kennedy, as always.
Sam, before you go, I just wanted to congratulate you for once again being named one of Boston's most influential people.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody got
sure
off
they didn't poll my kids, I can assure you. I don't know where that came from.
Number 25, not bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Out of
Great,
150?
It's climbing up the ladder.
Yeah.
And Sam, Greg was 147 last year, not on it.
Yeesh.
That was 146, Curtis.
Oh, sorry.
But apparently I've lost some influence somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
We need to investigate. Let's call for an investigation, Greg. That's criminal.
It's a bit of a fraudulent list. I hadn't noticed it until it was brought to my attention. But apparently I have slipped off of the list of the most influential Bostonians.
Yeah, Ken Laird 149, so congratulations to him.
You know, it would be great. Just get more controversial. Be tougher on the sports teams. Just say controversial things. It'll help.
Yeah.
You'll rock it. You'll go right to the top.
No, certainly congratulations. And, while the rest of you are moving on up, I'm apparently going in the wrong direction. But,
All right.
We'll
get back next
Sam,
year.
I appreciate it. All right, we will talk to you again
Thanks,
next
guys.
week. And certainly, Courtney, thank you for bringing that
Well,
to the attention of the world. I appreciate
You got
it.
to do
congratulate
something.
him.
Yeah, you got to do something.
What else could I do? How do you determine one's influence?
Bigger TV.